What happens when a fighter walks into the UFC and instantly makes veterans second-guess everything they know about the fight game? That fighter's name is Diego Lopes, and right now, he's becoming every featherweight's worst nightmare. In this video, we'll dive into Diego Lopes' electrifying highlights, the submissions that left black belts stunned, the knockouts that sent crowds into chaos, and the pressure that makes opponents break before the final bell. Whether you're already a believer or just learning his name, one thing is clear: Diego Lopes isn't just here to compete, he's here to dominate. So stick around, because by the end of this breakdown, you'll understand exactly why Diego Lopes is the nightmare every featherweight hopes to avoid. Diego Lopes isn't just turning heads in the UFC, he's rewriting the featherweight playbook. At nearly 6 feet tall with long reach, an ironclad Jiu-Jitsu foundation, and explosive striking, he's a threat in every phase of the fight. What makes him so frightening is that he's not only dangerous on the ground, but just as lethal standing up, making him a puzzle few have been able to solve. From the moment he entered the Octagon, Lopes has been collecting highlight moments. He submitted Gavin Tucker with a slick armbar in his debut, and then followed up with a ruthless TKO over Pat Sabatini. At UFC 300, he made headlines by dropping Sodiq Yusuff twice before finishing him in under 2 minutes. He showed poise and control when he outworked Dan Ige on short notice at UFC 303, and he proved he could hang with the very best by defeating Brian Ortega at UFC 306. The end result is a fighter who, as of mid-2025, sits ranked second in the featherweight division. He's done this not just by winning, but by doing it in ways that make fans and opponents sit up and take notice. Lopes has 12 submission wins and 10 knockouts on his record, but what makes him stand out isn't just the numbers. It's the way he pushes the pace, forces his opponents into panic, and seamlessly shifts from grappling to striking. Every time he fights, you're reminded that he is a complete fighter, one who doesn't just show up to compete. He shows up to break you down. Some fighters build hype slowly. Diego Lopes did it in fast forward. His UFC debut came on 5 days' notice against the undefeated Movsar Evloev, and even in defeat, he turned heads by pushing the top contender to the limit and walking away with Fight of the Night. That performance told fans he was special. What came after confirmed it. When he fought Gavin Tucker, Lopes wasted no time, snatching a submission that showed off his world-class ground game. Against Pat Sabatini, he didn't even need the mat, unleashing a barrage of strikes that left no doubt about his knockout power. The momentum built to UFC 300, where he demolished Sodiq Yusuff in under 2 minutes, knocking him down twice before earning the stoppage. That fight transformed him from prospect to headline maker. But it wasn't just the quick finishes that defined his rise. His win over Dan Ige at UFC 303, taken on short notice, showed composure, cardio, and championship-level preparation. The fight against Brian Ortega was even more telling. Ortega is one of the best submission specialists in the division, yet Lopes handled him with confidence, proving he belonged in the conversation with the division's elite. All of this set the stage for his first title fight at UFC 314 against Alexander Volkanovski. For 5 rounds, Lopes stood toe-to-toe with one of the greatest featherweights of all time. He even had moments where he looked like he might take the belt, knocking the champion down and forcing him into deep waters. Though Volkanovski walked away with the decision, Lopes walked away with Fight of the Night honors and undeniable proof that he is not just a contender, he is a future champion. After his narrow title loss to Volkanovski, Diego Lopes didn't fade. If anything, his stock rose higher. Fans and analysts alike saw a fighter who wasn't just hanging with a dominant champion, but pushing him in ways few others had. The question now is not whether Lopes will get another shot, it's when. That journey continues on September 13th, 2025, when Lopes headlines UFC Fight Night in San Antonio against Jean Silva. This isn't just another fight. Silva comes into the matchup on a 13-fight winning streak, finishing all 6 of his UFC opponents. He's dangerous, confident, and looking to make his own statement. For Lopes, it's the perfect test. A win here puts him right back in line for a title shot, while a loss could slow down his momentum. More importantly, it's a chance for Lopes to show growth. Against Volkanovski, he proved he could hang at the highest level. Against Silva, he has the opportunity to remind everyone that he's still the nightmare of the division, still the fighter nobody wants across from them on fight night. Lopes has the skill set, the mindset, and the performances to already be considered one of the most dangerous featherweights in the UFC. What he's chasing now is gold, and every fight from here on out is another step toward that goal. Whether it's a rematch with Volkanovski, a clash with Ilia Topuria, or another big name waiting in the wings, Diego Lopes has positioned himself as the man to watch. The belt might have slipped away once, but with the way he fights, it's hard to imagine it staying out of his reach for long. When you watch Diego Lopes fight, you get the feeling you're witnessing the birth of something special. Fighters come and go, hype trains rise and fall, but Lopes feels different. He's the kind of athlete who doesn't just show promise. He delivers night after night against whoever stands across from him. That's why fans already call him the nightmare of the featherweight division. Think about the road he's taken. From stepping in on 5 days' notice against an undefeated contender, to submitting veterans, knocking out rising stars, and going 5 hard rounds with a legend like Alexander Volkanovski, it's been nothing short of incredible. And he's not slowing down. Every performance has been a message, every highlight a reminder that Diego Lopes isn't here for a quick ride. He's here to take over. Now the path continues with Jean Silva on September 13th. A man on a massive win streak, a finisher in his own right, a fighter hungry for his breakout moment. This fight isn't just another test, it's a war for position at the very top of the division. And for Lopes, it's a chance to bounce back with the kind of performance that makes the UFC brass, the fans, and every featherweight contender realize one thing. The belt is still within his reach, and it might not be long before it's around his waist. That's the beauty of MMA. Titles are earned in inches, in moments, in nights, where everything comes together. And Diego Lopes has already shown he's built for those nights. Whether it's submissions, knockouts, or grueling battles, he has the tools, the heart, and the hunger to carve his name into UFC history. So the only question left is, are you ready to watch it unfold? Hit that like button if you believe Lopes is the future of the featherweight division. Subscribe so you don't miss the journey, and drop your predictions in the comments below. Will Diego Lopes conquer Jean Silva and march back toward UFC gold? One thing's for sure, the nightmare is just getting started.